Hey friends, it's Rosalind. Welcome back to our gardens and our tiny flower farm. I hope you enjoyed seeing just a little bit of what mornings looks like on our flower farm. It's my favorite time of the day, so I just wanted to share that little bit with you. But I am so glad you're here because we have a lot to get done today. We are going to be planting some seeds into the raised beds, and we're also going to be saving some flower seeds. And then last night I got a tree that I have been wanting for quite a while. So I'm super excited to share that with you. And then we're also going to be hanging some string lights. We're going to be working on just a whole bunch of fun things today. We are about 70 days from our first frost date. So we're going to be planting seeds that have, most of these have like 50 to 60 days to harvest on them. And all of these can also take frost, except for the summer squash, but it does say 54 days to harvest. So as long as we get a couple squash from that, that would be great. We're going to be planting radish, bok choy, Swiss chard, beets, and carrots. Right here in this section, I have some celery planted, and that celery can actually take cooler weather as well. I think first we are going to do some carrots. So it says to surface sow these. I'm just going to do like a slight indentation in the soil and get those seeds planted. We are going to do a row of the tropical black carrots. These can take a little bit more heat than a lot of carrots can. I did grow some of these this summer, and oh my goodness, they are so tasty and so fun to use in recipes. Go in later and just thin it out. I think I'm actually going to do a couple rows of the carrots. Carrots can actually, they can stay in the garden until you get like a very hard frost. It actually sweetens carrots if they get a little bit of frost. Okay, we have this section filled with carrot seeds, and I think I'm going to do the radish. These are purple radish. I'm just going to do a row like right in here beside the celery. And this radish seeds want to be planted a 1/4 inch deep. They can take frost, and they actually prefer growing in cooler weather. I'm going to do a row of beets, and then I think what I'm going to do is wait and just clean out my other raised bed, as it is filled with kale that is completely eaten up by the cabbage worms. So we'll just have our beets, our radish, and our carrots, and maybe one squash plant in here. Now we're just going to water everything in, and hopefully by late September, early October, we'll be getting a harvest from this. And if we would happen to get an early frost, we can always cover this up with frost cloth. Now that we have everything planted into the raised bed, we are going to save some seeds from these poppies. If you grow poppies once, you will never have to buy seeds again. So this is what they look like when you want to harvest them. And I just take them, turn them upside down. Look at all those seeds. Like all those seeds come out of one seed head. The next thing we're going to be saving seeds from is the sweet peas. Do you remember how pretty these were this spring? But now, let's see, here's a seed. This is what your seed pods will look like when they're ready. This is another flower that you only need to buy seeds for once, and you'll forever have all the seeds you need. Look at that. One flower gave 4 seeds. This is all the poppy seeds that we got so far, and the sweet pea seeds. So next thing we're going to be saving from is the Sahara Rudbeckia. This is another plant that you only need to buy seeds for once, and you'll forever have seeds for them. So I think I'm going to put the Sahara Rudbeckia seeds in here with the sweet pea seeds because we can tell the difference with them. This is what your seed head would look like on Rudbeckia when it's matured. When you take it apart, those are all seeds. Just look at that. That is all seeds. All those little black things, those are seeds. All of those seeds, all those black seeds, that is off of one flower head. And honestly, that is probably all the seeds that I will need. I just kind of take my hand over the seed head and the seeds will fall out. That's what it looks like. I had to go inside and take a little water break. It is so warm. Summer has definitely returned. But yesterday I came through here and I deadheaded all of the marigolds, except for a couple because I want to save seeds from it. But I want these to be, I want them to give like an early fall color, like blooming right into September, possibly into October. But marigolds is another one of those flowers that you only have to buy seeds for once and you'll forever have seeds. You just take your seed pods apart like this. I mean, look at all those seeds in one seed pod. Isn't that amazing? And you can always take off like the shaft part at the top or what used the spent bloom, and then you'll just be left with the seeds. This is where it gets to be so exciting. Like this is off, all these seeds are off of 3 flower blooms. So what I do is I will just now put the seeds in these little seed packets that I get, the little brown paper seed packets. You can get them off of Amazon. And then I will just put my seeds in here. I don't know if you can see the seeds in there. And then I will close it up. I will mark the type, variety, and when they were saved. And then next spring, you can plant your seeds again, or you can give your seeds away. We are in this tiny bit of shade and we're going to plant a magnolia tree. I have wanted one ever since we've moved to this property. We used to have one at our old house in town and I absolutely loved it. We've lived here for 9 years now. And last night I was at Menards and they had all their trees 50% off. And I noticed these magnolia trees and I thought, you know what? I am never going to get a magnolia tree for this price. I don't really have the place for it yet because the dream is to eventually have a greenhouse and have a magnolia tree growing in front of it. So I thought for now, we will just grow this in a container and in the wintertime, we'll have it in a protected spot in front of the house where the sun can shine on it and it's protected from the harsh cold winds. But next spring, I want to fill this completely with like pansies and spring flowers when this tree is blooming. I think it's going to be so pretty. Last project of the day. We're going to hang up this solar rope light on the arbor out here in the new perennial cut flower garden. And last week I had shared clearance plants that I bought. And so the lavender plants, 3 of them went right here along this edge. And the other 3 are over here. Probably can't see them, but they're right there. Very small, but can you imagine what that will look like next summer? Not totally sure how I'm going to do this yet. But I think it'll look very pretty with some lights on here at night since there's no light out here in the garden. Oh, I think it's going to be pretty. We'll have to come out here tonight when it's lit up and see what it looks like. Maybe at dusk, just before it gets dark. Before I leave you today, I thought we would look at a couple of the hydrangeas that are blooming because last week I said we'd walk through the garden together and just look at all the hydrangeas that are blooming. But then I had a couple other projects come up and I thought, I want to bring you along for that. So maybe next week we'll just have to do a complete garden tour. But let me turn the camera around so you can see the hydrangeas. This corner is my favorite this time of year because it is filled with late summer color. This is Limelight hydrangea. You can see it's not fully matured yet, but in about probably end of this month, end of August, it'll slowly start turning pink. Then we have Firelight hydrangea. This one is already starting to mature to a pink color. Isn't that so pretty? This corner is, again, filled with late summer color. This is Pinky Winky hydrangea, and even though the blooms aren't fully matured yet, you can see the tops haven't fully matured yet. The bees and the butterflies are loving it, and then at the bottom, it slowly starts turning to that bright pink. Look at the bumblebee. Back here in this corner, these Bobo hydrangeas, oh my goodness, I am in love with them. This is their third summer in this garden, and they are finally starting to mature, and they're just looking so pretty. Some of them are getting their soft pink color. The hydrangeas I bought last week, I haven't planted them yet because I've kind of changed my mind. I'm actually thinking of adding one in here to kind of block like all that stuff. I think it would look a lot better, and I know I've been saying this for a while, but I do want to build something to go around the AC unit to kind of hide all of that, and I think it would look a lot better in here. This is where the two hydrangeas are still sitting that we brought home last week. I'm thinking of taking this one and moving it over to the other side of the deck where I had shown you. And then this one we'll just keep here, remove this hosta, and keep right there. I think it'll be very pretty. Found a little bit of shade. We don't have a whole lot of shade around here. We've planted a lot of trees already, but we just have to wait until everything matures. Thank you for hanging out in the garden with me today, friends. I hope it's been helpful and inspiring and peaceful to all of you. Have an amazing week in your own gardens, and I will see you right back here next Saturday. Bye.